My name is Mark Pheifer from West Falls, New York.
When you first got to Vietnam, what was the first thing you thought
of? What a hellhole this place is. I was anti-war all the way through college, and was not happy about getting drafted, but I expected. I had two choices: one to go to Canada, one to stay here and do what I had to do. And I decided, after much thinking, to stay here and get drafted. And just after I got graduated from college, I got married. And back then, I couldn't get any kind of a decent job because I was 1A, which means that you're eligible for draft. And also, they had the first draft lottery when I was a senior in college. And the way that worked was you got drafted according to what day you were born. And my birthday is December 7th, and December 7th was picked 12th. So the chances of me being drafted were about 100%. Training was, that was okay. When you think back about it, the physical training was probably better than, it got me in the best physical condition that I had been in my life. The schooling I went to was completely useless. I got out of basic training. They sent me to learn more. They decided I was going to learn Morse code to be a radio operator. Yeah. So I think I spent 8 weeks in the Morse code school. And the ones that passed the Morse code school went on to radio teletype. So they basically told you, okay, you'll never have to use Morse code again. Okay. The ones that failed Morse code were sent right over to Vietnam and became Morse code operators, which doesn't make a lot of sense, but that's the Army. The Army never makes a lot of sense. Okay. And then I did the radio teletype down in Georgia for, I think, probably about 8-9 weeks. And from there, I got sent right to Vietnam. While I was down in Georgia, I was approached by another school that found out that I was a college graduate, and they asked if I would like to be in their unit, which was in charge of training foreign nationals. And I said, "You'd better believe I'd love it." And the guy came back to me about 2 days later and said, "Your whole class is going to Vietnam. They wouldn't even let me have you." It was hot, stinky. Well, actually, the place I landed was fantastic. Any other time in history, it would be a resort area. Cam Bay. It was just sand, white sand as far as you could see. But of course, the day after I got there was a monsoon, so it wasn't quite the resort type area. But the food was lousy at the reception centers, and yeah, you didn't feel like you were any place great. Yeah, they told me I was going to be a radio teletype operator. So when I got there, every day in Cam Bay, everybody would line up, and they would announce names and where you were going. So it wasn't like nowadays where everybody's in a unit and they stay with the unit. Yeah. When you got to Vietnam, you had no clue where you're going to be the next day. Chances were pretty much 85–90% you were going to be sent to some place where you didn't know anybody and they didn't know you. Well, yes, the reason I say 80–85% is there was a couple of guys from class with me that did get shipped to the same unit. But yeah, there was no unit cohesion over there. That was one of the problems of the war. And there again, you're only there for a year, and just when you're getting used to things, everything gets. You've always got guys transferring out and new guys transferring in. So it was just very topsy-turvy the entire time. Yeah, wasteful. That was the word. Yeah, because it's like the country never really got over Vietnam. I thought we learned our lessons there, that we would never waste our resources again doing something so foolish. But then along comes Iraq, and then along came Afghanistan, and I think it was Bismarck that said that the biggest lesson of history is that mankind never learns the lessons of history. And it's so true.